We got a glimpse of the past of the Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez last weekend, something that ironically hasn't been seen since Jerez 2020. Marc Marquez saving the front end with his elbow. I know that this isn't the most groundbreaking news, but it gave us a little look at hopefully a sign of things to come. Marquez hasn't been able to figure out the front end limit with the 2022 Repsol Honda right from testing in Malaysia in February. Granted, it hasn't just been Marc that has struggled, all Honda riders have, but there was a different approach from Marquez over the course of the weekend at Jerez. He made it clear from the start that he was going to start the weekend in testing mode, gathering as much data about the bike as possible. It showed a new approach. Marc Marquez not pushing on a race weekend? Have we ever said that before? But when it came to putting in fast laps for qualifying and practice, Marquez made sure he was able to get a tow from faster riders, and it worked. He annoyed Alicia Spargo on Friday, but it didn't bother Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia on Saturday, as Marquez was able to get through to Q2 and qualify in 5th place. Even then he played his chances down of fighting for the podium, saying that 5th to 10th place was all he could hope for. But from the analysis of FP4, Marquez used tyres that already had 15 laps on them, so in the hot and greasy track conditions, he was able to understand what the front and rear tyres were doing as they became more and more used. This data would prove invaluable as he made a good start on Sunday's race and settled behind Jack Miller as they battled for 3rd place. Alicia Spargo was also in the fight for 3rd, and he remarked at just how well Marquez was braking and it was so difficult to overtake him. As Marquez made a move on Miller for 3rd with 5 laps to go, he looked like he had more rear tyre grip. But Alicia Spargo attacked Miller for 4th at the last corner, and then we were greeted with a sight that we haven't seen for a few years. The left elbow was sliding along the ground, the bike was on its side, and then, suddenly, there was no crash. Marquez runs wide, Alicia Spargo gets through. But to the amazement of even Marquez himself, he didn't crash. He saved the front end of the Honda as it was on its side at 66 degrees lean angle. Ultimately, it was a mistake that cost him 3rd place, but the mistake could have resulted in a crash. But we seen a bit of the old Marc Marquez. It reappeared, and no doubt it gave him a bit of confidence about the bike and his ability to produce the saves again. He said after the race, "I lost the front and the rear, but fortunately the Spanish crowd were there to pick me up and save the crash. We don't give up and we keep pushing, and we now prepare for an important test on Monday." And the test on Monday appears to have gone very well. It delivered more clarity for Marquez and Honda. They now understand what the potential is of the new bike and what works and what doesn't work. So this should point towards Marquez being more consistent over a race weekend. And who knows, we could see the old Marc Marquez fighting at the very front of MotoGP again. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of Marquez's performance at the Spanish Grand Prix. It was certainly impressive to see him fighting, especially with a bike that is limiting his ability to get to the very front, but there was promising signs there. Make sure to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to Crash MotoGP for more content.